We meet Wyatt Trips, a Twin City college student in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's with his long-distance girlfriend, who he's been with since high school, Kimberly Janzi. She currently attends the University of Memphis. Wyatt loves Kim, despite the two having never sealed the deal. Wyatt calls Kim one night while dealing with his loud neighbors having sex because he misses her. Her roommate answers, irate, and says she's with the Ricker, that she kicked the two of them out. She complains about how loud she and the Ricker are, and he can't blame her. Wyatt freaks out while his wall begins to shake with his neighbor's sex. Wyatt realizes she must be cheating on him. Heartbroken, Wyatt goes to a strip club with some of his less than supportive guy friends, loudly professing he's being cheated on. By the turn of events, Wyatt can't really enjoy the show, as a girl in a schoolgirl outfit dances in front of them, and instead his friends give him the whole "I told you so" routine, and he begins doing shots to get over her. This doesn't help his frame of mind, but does lead him to meeting the dancer from before. They introduce themselves. Ivy Miller, the dancer, brings him out for food under the condition that he won't talk about his ex-girlfriend or cry about her when they're alone. He immediately breaks down, talking on and on about her, and Ivy calls him pathetic for getting so sad over his high school girlfriend cheating on him. Ivy says to write her a letter to break her ego and break up with her via a Dear Kimberly letter as a preemptive attack to save face against her. Still a little drunk and very heartbroken, Ivy and Wyatt go to the library to type up a letter to his ex. Ivy decides to rewrite it to make it a bit meaner, to insult Kim a bit more, so the breakup hurts. Back in her dorm, the two take racy topless photos of her to show that he's not heartbroken because Ivy hates girls like Kim. They attach a dirty condom to the letter. The two of them go to the Global Express stop for overnight delivery, so the letter will arrive by 10 a.m. in just a day or so, citing payment on receipt, so Kim has to pay for her own breakup letter. Wyatt drops the letter into the mailbox and the two of them go their separate ways. The following day, Kim calls Wyatt back before the sun is up. She claims that the Ricker was a dog she had to dog sit for, and Wyatt realizes what he's done in his emotional state. He has seemingly less than 24 hours to intercept the package before Global Express gets it to her, effectively ending his relationship. He runs across the campus in his pajamas, yelling that the Ricker is a dog, over and over. Ivy absolves herself of responsibility when he blackmails her because the package includes her topless photo. They try to go to the Global Express before the letter is picked up, and Wyatt encounters a spiteful classmate at the counter. He's upset the classmate the day before, who asked for his ID and receipt before realizing who he was. She becomes defensive, and he tries to charm his way through the interaction without his receipt or any type of purchase verification. She's not willing to budge, but Ivy tries to coax compliance out of her with a bribe. Wyatt has to offer her $100 before the classmate is willing to look into it. She finds the package immediately, and Wyatt doesn't have the money or anything to cancel the letter. The classmate spitefully deletes the information, meaning that there's no longer any way to search it up. Meanwhile, outside, a brand new driver is being escorted to begin his route. Hal Ipswich is committed to his job to a very high degree, which Wyatt quickly realizes as he attempts to talk to him. He tries to convince him to let him get the package back, but Hal assumes Wyatt is a QC spy for the company and vehemently refuses to let him break the rules. Hal gets in the vehicle and leaves Wyatt alone, frustrated and quickly running out of options. In a frenzy, Wyatt calls the airlines to book a trip to Memphis, promising the man on the line he's so pleased that he'll name his firstborn after him. Ivy realizes the depth of Wyatt's feelings for Kim and offers to drive him to the airport in her car. He's excited, and the two of them set off in her rickety purple Jeep. It takes a bit to get the car started, but after some coaxing, they're off on the road, hopeful that he'll be able to get to Memphis in time. They make it to the airport in the nick of time, and Wyatt runs off to catch his plane. He's seated next to a man, who at first seems normal, but things quickly escalate between the two of them in the small space. Wyatt is trying to call Kim from the on-plane phone, and the man beside him introduces himself as JD Beasley, asking why he's so tensed and freaked out. He explains the issue, and JD begins monologuing as Wyatt watches outside. Police start piling in as JD becomes more and more intense about a story about his ex-girlfriend. He details how gruesome he killed his ex by removing and nuking her head because she'd been obnoxious to him about the microwave in her life. Wyatt quickly catches on to what's going on, becoming swiftly horrified. Outside, police surround the plane, and JD is upset at how the police have addressed him. Wyatt makes him even more upset by mentioning his media name, Killer Bees. Wyatt tries bargaining while held hostage, and JD expresses his intent to murder Wyatt due to his condescending attitude while the two of them were talking. The police grab the criminal, and Wyatt manages to run away to safety. In fact, Wyatt doesn't stop running, hopping over a barbed wire fence and into the road. Ivy almost runs him over in the road, but stops in time. Wyatt fears that if he were to go back to the airport, the FBI would pull him in for questioning over the serial killer he'd been sat next to. He fears this will make it so he doesn't make it to Memphis in time to intercept the letter. He begs Ivy to drive him there because she's the only one with the car. She doesn't want to, but eventually relents, and the two set off on their cross-state journey to save Wyatt's future marriage. Eventually, they encounter the Global Express van at a nearby gas station while stopped for snacks and gasoline, and Wyatt breaks into the back of the truck. He finds the package, but the driver unexpectedly drives off. Ivy gives him a good chase behind, but the driver is too quick to notice the intrusion, and through careful driving, he manages to kick Wyatt out of the van and onto the road. Ivy retrieves him, and their efforts fail to retrieve the package, so they continue their long journey. Their next stop is Des Moines, Iowa, where Wyatt tries to board the connecting flight. No one believes Wyatt when he says he's the passenger held hostage by the serial killer because many other people have claimed to have been the same person to get free airfare. Due to his leaving the tarmac before he could be questioned, the two of them then decide to travel to St. Louis, Missouri so Wyatt can catch the next connecting flight. The two begin to bicker and fight on the road, leading to Ivy stopping and the two getting off on the side of the road. This altercation leads to Ivy's car careening off the cliffside and into the river below. Wyatt manages to get through unscathed, but now they're stranded without a vehicle to get them where they need to go. The two of them go to a cowboy diner, sitting apart from one another in a show of anger and defiance. While Ivy orders half the menu, Wyatt has no money, so he orders a glass of water and asks for some salt. Ivy takes pity on Wyatt, inviting him over and shares her feast with him. The irate waiter obliges, but the two begin to find a middle ground. However, Ivy explains her plan. She has no money either, and convinces Wyatt to run out on the check with her instead. Wyatt goes along because there's no other option, and the two of them make a break for it in the bathrooms. As they attempt to run out on the massive check, officers promptly catch them while they're dropping from the windows and throw them into the jail. Once they post bail, thanks to Wyatt's girlfriend, they happen upon the delivery truck from before. Wyatt takes the opportunity to empty the truck's gas tank to stall the delivery driver. However, despite it not being their intention, a carelessly flung cigarette butt catches the spilled gasoline on fire, causing the car to explode. Not even this stops the driver, who's already been pushed over the edge and believes this still to be an elaborate test for his job by the higher-ups, and he drives off. Wyatt and Ivy, in turn, steal a drunk man's car and continue their drive to Kim's campus. Wyatt says goodbye to Ivy, chasing Hal before he can stop him in time. This leads to the discovery that today is Valentine's Day, and he's worried he never sent anything to Kim. When he finally makes it to Kim's dorm, he realizes he's fallen in love with Ivy along the way and out of love with Kim. So, he then does the right thing and breaks up with her. After running into another guy wearing the same locket that Kim gave him long ago, Wyatt correctly surmises that the guy is none other than the Ricker. He finally realizes that he was right all along and Kim actually was cheating on him. He allows Hal to deliver the package and confesses his love to Ivy, who kisses him passionately. And that's gonna wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this recap as much as we did. If you liked the video and want to look into other movies with us, then be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. That way, you won't miss a single video.